All right, so Derry Special, 280,000 torque. Okay, cross-check that with the Derry Special, weighing 29.42 US tons. Total mass is 26,697. Okay, its power to weight ratio is a 10. Okay, it's getting outpulled by trucks with like 8. This is where I'm kind of drawing conclusions on some things. This is where we'll go back to the video and kind of show this. This is the Derry Special with its custom tires, 8-slot trailer, 4 metal beams on it, standard pulling test. You guys have seen this countless times. Yeah, it's not a bumpy hill, but I'm just legitimately, I want to know how much traction the vehicle has, how much pulling potential it has up a slope of this grade, because to be quite honest, in SnowRunner, you will never, I don't say you will never, but you will very rarely have any instance where you're pulling this much weight up a hill. Very rarely. But this is just a pure, I want to see the grip of the tires. I want to see if the engine can overcome the grip of the tires that are set down on the surface, and I'll see if it can actually pull this up a hill. Okay, so 280,000 torque, number 2 engine in the game, used to be number 1. One would currently think right now that I probably could just throw this in high and just blaze up this hill, right? Or even low diff lock and just kind of cruise up this hill. Let's take a look here. Started off good. What's up, Victor? Welcome in. Started off real good. Dropped to low because I lost too much angular velocity, so I wanted to keep my torque. And there it is. Total freeze. With a little bit of jiggling in the front. There it is. All right. But if we compare this to, let's see what this is. This is OHS2. This is the MHS2. Okay, this is usually what I use. Okay. So I thought to myself, MHS2, not as much dirt grip potential. This could give us some slip, and I could still get up this hill. I was like, okay, let's try it. Because this is literally the default tire I use for lateral stability, right? Because it's the widest tire it has. Pre-shifted when it gets basically below 2. Okay, I left it in high. Now I shift down. Still. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Nothing. And we actually start going backwards. Last test, I decided to put the ATHS tire on here. All-terrain tire on this truck. Okay? All-terrain tires to see if I can just get enough slip and the engine power will overcome the forces basically pressed down into the surface. Now, keep in mind, this is 280,000 torque. Only all-terrain tires. I'm still losing angular velocity. I'm probably going to downshift here shortly. It did get farther than every other tire you can see. I'm actually moving up the hill. So downgrading tires is a viable option. And that's where it stopped. I'm still getting some spinning, but there's the whole freeze whenever I was turning. But you can see it did get farther, but it still could not pull this hill. So then I look back. Okay, I look back at things like this. Here's a truck right here that has 260,000 torque, number 4 engine. And then here's the Zikz 605R, roughly around the same weight, less power to weight. Okay, let's watch this. So here's the 605R, 8-slot trailer, 4 metal beams. It is a massive amount of weight right now. You see, I already had a downshift. There you go. I turned a little bit, maintaining 1.4, 1.5. Now you can see 605R struggled here. I mean, this wasn't a cakewalk. This was not a cakewalk. He made it up the hill. I think he catches right here. Yeah, on the pegs. What's crazy to me is another thing I noticed as well. If I can even go back and talk about something even more crazy, is the fact that a truck like this carrying 8 slots of cargo can actually pull this hill. And if you actually look at, I've tested this truck against vehicles like the ANK Mark 38, actually the ANK Civilian, which power to weight ratio is 20. It has medium set tires. It doesn't have heavy set tires. 210,000 torque. It's a 10K vehicle. 11 US tons. Sorry, I keep saying that term. And then if you go down here and you look at our good old International 5070, 14 power to weight compared to 20. I tested those two trucks. I don't have the footage of the ANK because I think I threw it out. I kept this footage though because this was kind of just crazy eye-opening. We're going to watch this. This is, now for all you folks that think that the Paystar 5070 is kind of gutless, this is going to show you something that really surprised me. Because I've used trucks that actually have had less torque, but more power to weight as this vehicle, which is the Freightliner 114 SD, has 140,000 torque, has more power to weight than this truck. So one would infer it could have better pulling potential because it has more power to weight, right? That's not the case. I believe this truck is pulling like it has like 210,000 torque. And here it is. And I believe it's due to having heavier wheels. It has OHD, which are 200 kilograms versus having a UOD tire set, which is only 100 kilograms. And I believe this is directly corresponding or directly related to pulling power, or aiding in pulling power, or fixing pulling power. Now you can see I had to disengage all-wheel drive to force the power to the back tires, which I believe is actually a mechanic that is in-game. This happened to me on stream yesterday, and I can kind of show that as well. There you go, baby. Just slap all-wheel drive off. Power to back axles. You've seen it right there. Totally froze up. Just direct your power to rear axles and you're good to go. So you can see he crawled all the way up this slope. 150,000 torque. Literally this hill with this same load was just failed with the Derry Special, having 280,000 torque. Where's the engine for the Paystar? Let's see. Way down here, it's number 23. The number 23 engine has just beaten a number 2. I've mentioned this before on stream, so again, if you've heard this spiel, you can kind of tune me out here. No worries. This truck is one of the only trucks that I know that has 2 separate, different type of wheel weights. Is the Boar. The Boar has medium wheel weights, which is like standard, like UOD tires, right? We know this from prior DLC releases. It used to have these tires right here, the UOD2s, right? Okay. These are like the standard. And then all of a sudden, like they went and gave it OHDs. OHDs are double the weight of a UOD tire, okay? I don't know why that's on there. So I'm going to show you this thing pulling that pulling that same trailer with medium tires and heavy tires. And we're going to just see how it does, right? All right, UOD2s. Downshift when I can. Downshift there. Yeah. I'll even go back down. I will try just straight up low, around like 1.0, 1.1-ish. So here's just straight up low. Again. There it is. I'm literally holding the trigger. I wish I had a camera right now. I'm literally holding the gas trigger right now. And it still cannot pull this hill. I'm probably going to have to disengage all-wheel drive as well. Last time we did this on stream, I had to do that. So let's see it. So I'm pre-shifting. Do I even need to downshift? I guess I will. Okay, I disengaged. And you can see it walked that hill. Actually, I'm gonna be honest, it walked that hill faster than the 605R did. That right there shows you the only difference that was in both of these tests. The only difference is I just used heavier tires. That right there should be enough proof to anyone to just show straight up, like, wheel weights definitely add pulling potential. The OHD1 and the UOD2s, they have the exact same grip coefficients across the board. They're just, and that's another thing is I didn't, all the grip, that's another thing is people could probably say, oh, but they have different grips. They have the same grip. It's just, they're just different tire weights. Weight is the key. I believe so. So in conclusion to those unfiltered live stream thoughts and testing, pulling potential and wheel weights definitely have a close relation. For instance, the Derry Special should be one of the best haulers in the game. It has the #2 engine in the game currently at 280,000 torque, which was previously the #1 engine in the game. But due to its wheel weights being 3 times lighter than that of the 605R or a Kolob or other trucks in the game that are super heavies, its power to weight supremacy doesn't really help it that much. Also, SD1 has shown the Derry being outpulled by the new Plaid 450 with 35,000 less torque. Next was the Paystar 5070, a truck that most folks would write off as weak. We just saw it pull a load that even the FEM couldn't. The Paystar is a true outlier in that it has 2 times heavier tires than normal North American trucks, and the biggest factor is it has the second weakest engine in its class. Yet I believe its wheel weights allow it to pull much better. Other examples of this are the pre-buffed version of the Zikz 612H Mastodon having 200 kilogram tires versus having 600 kilogram tires. I've showed the pulling power increase on a separate video. If you'd like to see that as well, it will be in the description for you of the video. Last and the most convincing finding I believe in this video is looking at the differences in the Boar, being that it could be one of the only trucks in the game to have 2 separate wheel weights in its arsenal. Clearly the OHDs being 2 times heavier performed much better. So in closing, while a lot of folks might think torque is the answer to the problems of vehicles like the P12 and such, I believe that if it was given a super heavy tire code, which would be 600 kilograms opposed to what it has now, which is 200 kilograms, we would see vast improvements, and I believe this could be done with other trucks in the game as well. This was the exact case with the Zikz 612H upon release compared to its changes to its tire weights. I really hope these live stream thoughts, along with the testing and prior findings, have given you a new perspective when it comes to pulling power. So until next time guys, God bless and stay upright.